Hello developers, a good news apart is that Amazon just released their own IDE called Kiro. So what AWS did, bringing everything stacked with AI on that particular IDE. And if you're with me for a long time, as you know, I love to use Visual Studio Code, and there is a very much good chance on that even for the cursor, it can be fallout for this IDE as Kiro, because the Kiro also gonna stack a lot of new features. Even they just released yesterday, but it gonna coming up with lots of features, and today we're gonna test it and how it gonna be happen to be a good one. We're gonna try to find out what's the new feature it can provide apart from the Visual Studio Code or cursor. So let's try today about that a beginning stuff, how it can work and how it's providing the new boost. So with me and you, let's try today the Kiro. And to do with that, we're gonna go first on their documentation here. And on the documentation is providing that the AI IDE for prototype to production. Kiro helps you to do your best work by bringing structure to AI coding with spec-driven development. And now over here, we're going to explore a bit about that, go for from vibe coding to viable code. And then we're going to just go to get the features, everything you need. We have the autopilot over here. So it's going to handling especially the auto driving mode, then including the steering documents, agent model selection. That's I know we can select any agent model we want to use. Also the import configuration from Visual Studio Code. So that's the pretty much good things over here. If I can import anything from the Visual Studio Code, that means a good like a lot to me, so I can get all my favorite feature extension directly from there. So this is what is like claiming here compatible with VS Code. Kiro supports open VSX plugins, themes, and VS Code settings in a streamlined AI-ready environment. And don't show, don't tell, witness the magic with code tips. Okay, good, it's promising. And now if we go in the pricing model, everything is pending, not yet ready because it's very new and is coming up with a very basic structure right now. So if you go in the documentation, you can find out how you can start with that and how also you can explore the editor spec and also the chat. Even you can make the hooks too on that, like you can connect enter hook types and other parameter on the agent mode and all. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna this is super cool. You can do a lot of things now. Before in the cursor and Visual Studio Code we use the AI, but this is the next level. AI is coming. Even right now we may not access a lot of things, but it's coming with a lot of handy module right now. So what basically I'm doing to using AI is that, especially in my Visual Studio Code, I'm going with the autopilot. Now from there I can choose my agent, I can choose any of that AI model I want to use. Basically almost all the setup is just showing to be handled there, so I can easily go and make from there. But today we're going to see how Kiro will work, and from the download option you can download from any of the machine you are looking with like Apple Silicon or Intel, and Windows for that, and Linux for the Ubuntu, and Universal anywhere you are looking forward to. Now you can download and then import everything from the Visual Studio Code, and of course you need to log in with your any of the credential. I download it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like initialize my Kiro right here. So this is the Kiro. I open a build folder right here. So what we can do structurally, I can just open my chat in the left side. So this is the new session I'm gonna create. Now from here there is a two method is happening. One is for vibe, one is for the spec. And in the vibe, what it can do right now for the vibe motion here, we can go with the thing like for the vibe is that rapid exploration and testing. So chat first, then build, explore ideas, and iterate as you discover needs. And then also spec is that plan first, then build. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try something very simple. So let's say I want to create a portfolio website using React.js and Tailwind CSS. Okay, enter. So let's see how it gonna think and how it gonna build. For me, how AI gonna work on that, I'm gonna asking something and it gonna processing that mechanism whenever I'm needing and however I'm asking. So today, as you can see, okay, this is unexpected. Okay, an unexpected error is providing. I think it's maybe I have some network issues. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just reshuffle the network. Okay, as I jump, now it's gonna work. So npx create react app portfolio website. why is getting that create React app? Whenever I'm asking that I will help, like I want to create a portfolio website using React.js and Tailwind CSS, it's gonna do something more than that, right? It's supposed not to be working on that. So waiting to your input. No, I'm gonna say no, not like that. Create with VJS. Okay, just providing something scenario. So it's gonna asking for that if I want to go with that. So create React app is not good. So I'm gonna go with that VJS. So yeah, so let's say waiting for your input, trust. Okay, so I'm gonna go npm create upload, and okay, waiting for your input, full control, full command and partial command. Okay, I need to select. Okay, so now it's gonna provide that command npm create website. So now in the terminal, it's gonna running the command. Okay, that is not so bad. And also I think there is a lot of other scenario which can happen. You can see the portfolio is created. Okay, cool. Now, okay, what is saying again an unexpected error. Okay, let's say I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ls, so cd portfolio website, portfolio website and PMI, and I'm going to see whatever the things. It just, I think it's just initialize one simple application there. Then I need to go install everything. But this is not so handy because every time it's just getting that unexpected error. So this is not so good to have, especially for those kind of layer here. But what I'm going to go to explore a little bit of the documentation here, I want to understand what is the specs meaning here, how those things can work, especially on that. So what are specs is that specs are specifications, are structured artifacts that formalize the development process for complex features in your application. They provide a systematic approach to transform high-level ideas into detailed implementation plans with clear tracking and accountability. Okay, so that's actually a like a breakdown on that. Okay, that's having a very good and cool structure. Okay, again, start. Okay, now it's providing that it's gonna working on that. I'll help you to set the portfolio website. Okay, command and pm install, which already run on that. So working. No, that is not good because as you can see right here, did it install there? Okay, I think yeah, I think yeah, okay, that's good. It's going within that inside the property. So now run that. Tailwind css is gonna run. Okay, I think we are building our application. Okay, that's really cool. So it's just going to be there. It's gonna be slow pace. And what I really recommend you whenever you are, okay, I need to put the command every time. And what I recommend you whenever you are testing Kiro right now, you need to be have patient because they are working on it. Just yesterday they released that thing, so you need to have much more patient. And there's a lot of things which we can explore, especially right now. So be patient. Don't just throw it away, right? Even for the cursor, it was not ready by a single month. It takes time to build up something in larger scale. And what the AWS doing is really cool. So we're gonna wait for something, let them fix that. But what we can do right now is can see it's really working on that. So okay, I think that one is facing some of the problem. Okay, let me create tailwind config files manually because it cannot create on that. Okay, it created manually. Okay, created, working. So I'm gonna just provide a bit of time to finish the setup, and then we're gonna see what actually it has built. And as you can see, you can visualize everything is working on that in the index.css or others. Yeah, it's providing that, but it's not up to date because now most of the IDE cannot find out like an up-to-date version of the scenario, but it's providing almost okay, every setup, every settings just get instructed like imported from Visual Studio Code. I can zoom out, everything just coming from there. That is cool. Okay, now it's crafting. I just want to see what kind of look it's gonna provide when we build up. So I'm gonna let him finish everything, finish all the setup. I'm gonna just put yes to finish it, and then you're gonna see the finished product, what actually it built in the first instances. Okay, it's asking me to run the command, and after running the command, we are finding that this error is happened to be there. So okay, let's see if it can fix that, because what my expect from the Copilot, it's gonna fix the scenario and then it's gonna run. But we're gonna see how much time it's gonna take and how it's gonna fix. And I know everybody are using that, so I will just give a bit of time for it to just think and visualize with that. Just manually install that post css, and now it's creating the component layer, which okay, contract and others, it need to be create alongside that. So now it's creating the projects and others. Again, it's just taking a bit of time to go with that. So it's working. So let's see again how it's gonna finish that. So it's creating the contact and others. So we got the things done, and after working it pretty much bit, we are now landing here. Okay, so the CSS is not working. It's because the Tailwind configuration, it has been done. It's not good. So let's just see the Tailwind CSS is not working, and I want it to tune on that. I made the problem intentionally because I don't want it to be work on that. So let's see what is providing on that. It's going to reading the file. Let me check the current Tailwind configuration and fix the issue. So let's see how it's going to fix that proper issue statement. So especially if you go in the Tailwind configuration, so it gonna do some of the statement, and after finishing that, we're gonna coming up on this segment. So let's see if it can do that or not. And if you go here, accepted, edit at its own, so it's still working on that. So you're gonna provide its time to again working on that particular statement. So I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, and this is not just gonna work with that simple application layer. Okay, that is frustrating. You can see the please retray. I know so many people are using, but it's not go on that every time not fixing any problem and then you're gonna providing that. So I think it's a lack of a lot of interactivity need to require, and a lot of things need to be configured especially to go with that. So maybe that could be highly configuration. Okay, now it's finding that. So I see the issue. You have Tailwind CSS4 installed, which has different configuration. Let me fix. Okay, now it's fixing that. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, so okay, that is fixing. Cool. Okay, good. Okay, run. And I think the development server is already running, so it will open in a different format. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close my previous server. So right now I can see it gonna work on that, especially for 5174. So let's just go on that 74. And why like this? In the 5174 it's not working. If I just close that and npm run dev, okay, it's my bad, it's still working. So I'll close that. I'll go with the previous one, which is just running on that. I'm going to close some of the terminal here. So again, 3 changes accepted. So let's say npm run dev to go again with that. So localhost 5173 gonna be working. No, no. If I revert that one, it's coming right here. Let's say still Tailwind CSS not working. And for the images, let's say use a free images from internet, hit enter. And now let's see if it can work on that. It's really frustrating. Sometimes I think that it was fixed in a bit, and again in the next time it's not working at all. So let's see whenever it's trying again if it can fix or not. Especially for the index CSS, that's supposed to be work. Yeah, also because it's the previous version of setup. Now it's the Tailwind. I think let's see what it installed here for the Tailwind configuration. Okay, Pulse CSS 4.1, 4.1.11. So yes, that is the problem here, because it installs the latest one, but the configuration is not for the latest. So there is some miscommunication and gapping is right there. I think this is not because of IDE. It need to train up with a lot of things. It can, if it can finish one project, that it can do multiple at an instance. So we need to have patience again. Okay, why why the OBS is coming right now? Okay, so now it will go with the post CSS auto prefixer. And I think the best way is that we can just simply go with the Tailwind CSS, and very decent way to go with that, get it started, and we can do directly the configuration and everything will be good to go. I don't want to do it because as you can see now it's getting to be Tailwind CSS 3.4.0. okay, but it's supposed to work on that scenario which are gonna be coming with the latest version, but it's not getting the latest. It's gonna just digging into the previous version. I don't know, this kind of a segment or statement is not good at all. You need to get back the real one, which is the latest one, but it's just fall baking. It didn't fix in the latest. It's gonna, I think it's also needs some more experiment and others. So what I'm gonna do instead of talking on that, I'm gonna go with that npm install a library. So let's see if we can go with that. I'm gonna remove this one, and also I'm gonna remove the post css from there, and then I'm gonna remove that. Let's say what else, and then I'm gonna go and make that install here for Vite.js, and then I'm going to go with the Vite configuration. I'm going to just copy that. Let's go in the Vite configuration. No need to that having this one. So let's go Vite configuration. I'm going to just pass that one for the Tailwind CSS, and also for that globals.css. I'm going to just I think only this much is needed. That's it. I think we're good to go. So let's go try this one. I'm going to close that and npm I to again install everything, and then npm run dev. Let's try. I think the problem it will be fixed if we go in that way. Okay, so the post css plugin not required right now. Remove that. Okay, in the local variant, did you need the post css? Okay, Tailwind css wait. That's it. I think it looks like you are trying directly as a post CSS plugin as move to separate package post CSS configuration, where it's actually if we delete, why it's not deleting? It's supposed to be deleted. And also if we go in our package, do we have post CSS? No, it's just, yeah. Okay, let's try again. Let's say npm I to make everything good to go. This is not so good if I need to work manually whenever I'm using the AI. Yeah, okay, now we're good. So this is just a fallback scenario. So now we're gonna go with okay, Tailwind setup is okay. Now use dummy images from internet. We're using images and add some motion effects. Okay, it's just a simple command. So what I'm asking just to go and combining with that. So it's basically we are training up the IDE, especially for the new beginning. So yeah, I know it's frustrating, but at least we are managing something. It's not only to making a simple project. There is a lot of complex configuration we can do, especially running the MCP server and others. So you're gonna do it in future, but today just to try how much compatibility it can provide. Okay, now let me update the components with real images from the internet and add some motion effects using Tailwind's animation classes. Okay, let's see what it can do more. So it's supposed to get all the images, whatever images is providing, and then also the others. If I click, okay, it's just getting directly like that. Okay, let's try. Let's see what it's gonna return after that. Okay, it's failing to unable to replace text, trying to different approach. So what I really feel about that, this is kind of cool whenever a new tech is coming, but I think the Kiro must to have some more times to initialize, some more time to go and prefix that. So that's what my intention is coming on that. It's having a much more credentiality, much more probability to do something better. But how is providing that it is not that much trained and the resources is not that much full, because especially for the AI, it's all about the data which it that to not need to be fed. So now what we can do, we just tried and it's working in a good way, in a simple way. But what we're gonna do is that try in after a few times. It having a lot of things inbuilt in the scenario, but it will not come within that pretty much in good and easy way. So I think this is getting mature, and if we provide a little bit more time, it can come up with a lots of solutions. And we have trust with Amazon, especially AWS is getting better in every single thing. So we're gonna know and we're gonna wait for something. Until that, stay with me, subscribe the channel, please to like the video, because see how much I struggle for that. But no worries, in the next time maybe we can do something better with the Kiro, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna we're gonna just set up the MCP servers, and also we're gonna use the specs, we're gonna use the hooks, everything we're gonna try slowly. But today we tried, again tomorrow we will, or day after tomorrow we're gonna try again. Let's see how much complexity and how much easy way it can go around. Until then, stay around, and I'm gonna see you in the next build.